If you aren't getting referrals, I bet that you are less than happy with your sales volume every month. Hey, it's Jenny Bellinger, and I was recently referred to Jeff Bitten, the founder of Pitch 59, a digital referral card app. I signed up to get my own Pitch 59 card, and in the past 31 days, my card has been shared 20 times. Now, if you have one of those free digital business cards, do they share with you every day how to get your customers to share your card? Do your customers even know how to access your digital business card? If the answer is no, then you really should look into getting your own Pitch 59 card. If you go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com/pitch 59, I'll give you a 20% discount off your Pitch 59 card. Again, that's badassdirectsalesmastery.com/pitch59, and you'll get 20% off of your referral digital card.
Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me Teresa Aker. Now, Teresa and I met, I think, through the Selling on the Spot marketplace, I believe, or maybe through Jane or Sue or somebody. But we've met before. And when I found out about your history with multi-level marketing, I knew I had to have you on the show. So, Badass Crew, let me tell you a little bit about Teresa. Teresa's a huge proponent of helping others achieve their goals and dreams. Multi-level marketing in Avon allowed her to help a team of amazing representatives learn how to sell, become a wonderful group of friends, and grow their businesses to whatever their individual goals were. She achieved the highest award, the President's Council Award in Sales and Executive Unit Leader in Leadership, both top on the leaderboard. Prior to that, she was a top seller in real estate. During that time, the interest rates were so high and people had a really hard time making ends meet, let alone buying a house. She listened to seasoned agents who had been through tough times before and learned how to help her clients buy their homes. Now, she's had a lot more going on, and there is more that she's added to her life. But I know we don't want to spend forever on the introduction. I want to get to the conversation. I don't know about you guys. Teresa, welcome to the show.
Jenny, thank you so much for inviting me today.
Absolutely.
I had such a nice time meeting you before. We just hit it off so well right away.
Yeah.
And we both love multi-level marketing.
Yes. Super passionate about it.
I absolutely am. And I'm so happy to be here today to talk about it. Thank you so much.
Oh, I am so glad to have you. Yes, you are very, very welcome. And thank you, because I know that whatever comes out of today's episode, it's going to help people. I can already feel that energy is going to come through and somebody's going to get something. So tell us, Teresa, how did you get into, and I know Avon isn't the only company that you are partnered with. So how did you get into multi-level marketing? And I'm assuming Avon was your first company that you were with. So how'd you get into that one?
Jenny, you won't believe it. You are right. I sold real estate many, many years ago. I have been in sales my entire life. I mean, I delivered newspapers when I was 12, Jenny. I've been earning a living selling forever. So when I was in real estate, that was a long time, and I just loved it. I love working with people. And then I met my husband at the time, and he traveled a lot with the government. So when I had moved from real estate into selling in the furniture industry. So Jenny, I sold drums of glue to manufacturers in I know all over the place, and I was traveling as well. So we both sort of got, kind of weary of that. We were married and we wanted to see more of each other. And my husband decided to run for council again. He had been on before and then he decided to run again. That made him more local. And I wanted to
Mm.
be home with them. So I was looking at a number of businesses and I loved Avon, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I looked at the structure and I thought I would start selling Avon. So I did very well because I love the product and I wore the product. So I certainly knew the product, which is number one when you're in sales. You have to
Yeah.
know your product. But Jenny, from there, I looked at they had come out with multi-level marketing. And
Yeah.
this was amazing to me. We did not have a store, as you know, with Avon, you sell products door to door. I
Hmm.
was a huge door knocker. Can you believe it? I did with my brochures. I went right to the doors. Hi, would you like an Avon catalog? And everyone loves Avon. Everyone loves Avon.
Yeah.
So I had no trouble doing that. But Jenny, as I came across some of the people, what happened was when they came with multi-level marketing, it offered me a chance to not just sell products, but grow a team of representatives that were able to now sell their products. So as you know, with multi-level marketing, you structure a team and then they have a chance to sell their products and make money for themselves.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest parts of that and a huge component was that when I was selling in the furniture industry, I also did some management. And it was important to be able to motivate a team of people and help them sell. So with Avon, this gave me a chance to really help people. And I love that. I was able to see people, stay-at-home moms, hairdressers who were just looking to make money on the side. They were doing very well with their business, but just wanted to do a little more. Anybody who wanted to make some money could do that.
Hmm.
But now watch, multi-level marketing is an interesting business. So what I love about it is you don't have a storefront, you don't have overhead, but you do have to work at it and you
Yeah.
do need to stay motivated. So what I loved is helping grow people, give them confidence to be able to go out there and sell products and make money for their families. And you can't believe the number of people who said, Teresa, thank you, because now I can be home with my kids more. And I was able during that time to be with my husband more, and he loved that.
Yeah.
So that's how I started out in multi-level marketing. And then I grew from there, Jenny.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as we've already kind of indicated, you are with multiple companies now.
I am.
You are with Isogenics. How did you get introduced to that? And what made you decide to add that as another company that you were going to partner with?
So, Jenny, part of my journey in life, and I would share that with you in your public. My husband, who I mentioned earlier, did pass away, and
Mm,
it was very, very heart wrenching for me.
yeah.
There were no words. I was just heartbroken. So, I actually am an emotional eater, and so during that time, I put on a lot because I was really upset, and I went through a time of mourning, just as a lot of people your people know here grief is just different
It
and when it's your
is.
husband or your child it is just tremendously hard. So
Yeah.
I definitely gained a lot of weight during that time. I had a big struggle during that time, and my friend came to me and she said, Teresa, I've been doing this for a long time and look at the results I've had. So she introduced me to Isogenics. I'm so very grateful.
Hmm.
And from there, the reason I liked it, it was more natural derivative products I could get my mind around. The system was easy for me because I was working as well. And I wanted something that was easy and take me away from that urge to munch all the time.
Yeah.
So boy, it worked for me, Jenny. And again, it's multi-level marketing. So
Yeah.
I was able to start presenting that to other people. And wow, I'm so happy to say my life has really been a journey of helping other people, whether it be building confidence on the inside or the outside. It
Mm.
really has been a journey of helping, and forever. I can't imagine ever leaving it now.
Oh yeah. No, that is something that I regularly have people ask me, do you ever miss doing Park Lane jewelry? And I'm honest with people and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, sometimes I am. Like, y- yes, I do get to help more people in a variety of companies with what I'm doing now, but there's that camaraderie that really happens within a team, and that, just like you were talking about, really getting to help very specific people achieve their individual goals, which was part of your introduction, right? Because not everybody has the same goals, right? So let's talk about that,
They-
because I don't know that that's something I've ever really discussed on the show with leaders. So how do you address that with your teams, especially since you have two different teams running now? So you've got Avon and Isogenics. How do you suss that out with the people that you're working with, and how do you work and track all of those individual goals that you're working with the people on your two different teams?
Jenny, thank you for asking. I truly take it very seriously. Every person that comes in front of me, no matter what I'm helping them with, I'm extremely organized. I make sure that I talk to them, whether it be on Zoom calls, whether it be on the phone, however I'm meeting with them. I give them undivided attention because I truly am interested in their journey. And I'm able to relate because I've had some journeys of my own
Hmm.
that have been heartfelt. And also, they are looking for someone who have already done it. So I just like yourself, if someone's already done it, okay, they can help me. But on
Hmm.
top of that, I'm extremely good listener. I make sure that I sit down and listen to what they're asking and what their needs are. And sometimes I pull out needs they didn't know they had. So, because if we
Yeah.
listen, we find that other people will tell you, in confidence what they need. And if you can help them, what a wonderful, wonderful business that is.
Yeah.
And with multi-level marketing, the reason that that kind of incorporates with Avon and Isogenics, Avon is a company that's well known, just as
Hmm.
Isogenics and just as the companies that you've worked for. When they're well known and they're a reputable company, now that removes that first part. Now
Hmm.
you can talk about the people individually. Now, I won't say multi-level marketing's easy, Jenny. Part of that is
Right.
sometimes, I think it was Jim Rohn who said sometimes it's like herding cats because
Yeah.
everybody's got a different life and everybody, some people cancel and some people are there and some people aren't. So you have to be very patient too,
Hmm.
because everybody has individual needs and everybody has individual schedules. So
Yeah.
I've learned to be patient, to listen, to take the time. And boy, if you're in front of me, you have my undivided attention. I don't go anywhere else. When I'm doing a Zoom meeting or in-person meeting, it's all about that group. In fact, the time flies so quickly for me. I don't know how many times I thought, wow, the meeting's over already.
Right.
Because and you do, because you're a very warm person as well. And so when we're engaged with someone and we truly want them to experience growth and achieve their dreams,
Yeah.
that's important to me.
Ah, yes. Okay. So what popped up for me from that was the big thing was the when you're talking to somebody on your team and you pull out needs that they didn't even know that they had. That right there is huge, because one of the things that I would ask my new team members when they come on and be like, "What do you want out of this business?" And they would usually say something along the lines of, "Oh, well, I want to earn the trip, or I want to earn the car." And I'm like, "Okay, why?" Right? So how do you get into that need they didn't even know they had in that conversation?
Asking questions, Jenny,
Mm,
question after question, and make sure. I have a routine where I have 10 questions right off the bat. And you know what? Actually, you touch base on it just now, Jenny.
Yeah.
What's their why? And
Yeah.
sometimes they will tell you, you're absolutely right. They'll say, "Oh, I just want to make some more money." Well, why do you want to make the money? Well, I've got the kids and I kind of want to go away. Oh, so where do you want to go? Oh, I want to go out to Newfoundland. I want to go and see my cousins out there. Oh, well, how much do you think it would cost to go there? Oh, well, probably this much. And before you know it, they're thinking, hey, I could do this. And I could give back to my family. Or a lot of businesses, let's face
Hmm.
it, have great incentives, trips and cars and uh, all kind cash incentives.
Right.
So, Jenny, that's how I find out. I ask questions and I ask that very thing you just did. What is your why? And once you get their why, now you can
Mhm.
help them get to the goal that they want to achieve. And if it's something they
Mm.
didn't even know, I think they appreciate that you listened and took the time.
Right, exactly. And that also, I think, helps create that bond that now, at least on I'll speak from my experience, and then you feel free to add on from yours. That when you have that kind of relationship with someone, because you asked them the question, because you went deeper than just the surface, now there's a bond between the two of you. And what I found was oftentimes that meant that they were more likely to call me up when things were hard and say, "Hey, I'm feeling like giving up."
Oh, yes.
Right. And I think psychologically, the reason they were doing that, why they reached out to me, was because I knew their why and I could remind them of it.
You are 100% right, Jenny. And I'll add one more thing. It
Yeah.
also builds trust.
Mm.
Trust is a key component because when we're talking to someone, you're right. You're engaging with them, you're building a bond,
Hmm.
and that bond, they know that you mean well, you want to
Yeah.
help them. And that does build a trust to say, "Hey, we're in this together." And so you're right. When they're not, and we've all had those moments where we think, "Oh, I just can't do this anymore. Why am I doing this?" You have to bring the whole thing back, and they trust that you're going to help them come back to where they started so that they can keep going. And sometimes we just need someone to say, "Hey, you got this. Don't worry. You're going. Look how far you've come. Look how far you don't have that far to go now. And don't forget where you were going, how you got here. Look how far you've come and you don't have that far to go." That's all they need is a little encouragement.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's something I've even seen in coaching with some of my clients, especially one of the clients who I've been working with the longest. Every once in a while, I'll remind her, I'll be like, "Hey, remember when we started working together and you were only making $100 a month? Like,
Right?
do you remember that?" And they're like, "Oh, I forgot that." Or, I'll remind her, "Do you remember when you only had one team member and how things were that way?" And then now we talk about, "Oh, well, you've got this many and this is what's going on there." Right. So it's like just that, yes, being able to show how far they've come. Right. And so, because I think a lot of people focus more on the gap than the gain, to speak
Uh,
to that book. Right. Like, "Oh, I haven't got there yet." But I'm like, "But look how far you've come."
so, Jenny, I would also add that
Uh,
isogenics that we've talked about,
uh-huh.
another wonderful part of that is we take pictures at the beginning and then a
Mm.
couple of weeks into isogenics, take another group of pictures. And oh my goodness, people see they've lost all these inches. They're so
Right.
excited. They see it right on the photographs. And they're,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, that was me when I started. And look at me now." What a wonderful, wonderful feeling that is for not only the
Yeah.
person achieving that, but for me too, because I presented a product that actually worked for them. Or Avon, where they, as you said, they have an income that they didn't have
Mhm.
before. And as you said, we start small and build up, and before they know it, they're laughing. They've got all the goals they wanted, or they may earn a car, or
Right.
they earn a trip. And they
Yeah.
don't have to pay for it. I earned a television. I can remember my husband sitting in front of it, and he never gave me the converter. It was his TV, even though I earned it, by the way, Jenny. He was the best. But he was so proud of me for earning it. And that
Yeah.
was was a television, but you know what? It was just a great feeling to earn those things, and I earned trips and all kinds
Yeah.
of things too. So if people are, if they understand that there's more to just the goal, there you can give back to your family or give back to yourself. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's yourself. It's a wonderful feeling.
Absolutely. So I want to speak to the earned incentives, right? And what those did for you personally, what they did for your business, because I think that a lot of people think that the earning the trip, for example, right? Because in 7 years with Park Lane Jewelry, I earned 9 trips.
Beautiful.
I only got to go on one of them because every time the rest of them were during a massive family reunion, or I don't know, I had a baby during one of them. So I couldn't,
That
I wasn't
usually changes things up, Jenny.
right. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to travel, but I was able to get the cash
Yeah.
incentive instead. Right. But some people think it's just about that. But I honestly believe there's more to those incentives than just what the rep gets out of it. But let's talk about what happens to the representative who earns those
Okay.
incentives. Like
Okay.
what
Yeah.
what are the benefits other than just the getting of the TV, other than the car or the trip, like the incentive itself? What is the hidden element of earning it for you as the rep?
I'll tell you the biggest one.
Uh-huh.
The biggest one is the camaraderie of all those other people that won that same trip that you're going to go and you're going to meet. And they might be in California, they might be in Canada, they might be in New York. All of a sudden, you've got a sister or brotherhood of people coming together with a company, and you've all earned that wonderful prize paid for by the company, not by
Yeah.
you, by the company. There is so much synergy, excitement, pride, love for each other. Oh my goodness, a love for the company. It
Mm-hmm.
comes together, and you've built a network of wonderful families that you get to forever remember.
Yeah.
That's what I think is important with that, Jenny.
Ah, I love that. Now, there's one thing in there that you didn't say, but I'm getting like a universal download saying, and confidence.
And confidence. Yes, of course.
Because I think for a lot of people, what happens is until they earn the insert, fill in the blank here, the car,
Yeah.
the trip, the cash reward, the jewelry bonus, whatever it is that somebody's company is offering. I feel like there's a tiny bit of imposter syndrome happening. And then all of a
Interesting.
sudden, the earning of the thing, then they go, I did that. I did, right? Because I'm telling you, for a lot of companies, the way they set those incentives up, you are the one who has to do them. Your leader can't do them for you. Your team can't do them for you. It's the work that you put into working with your customers and working with the team members. If there's a growth aspect uh, to that, so can you speak to the confidence and the overcoming of imposter syndrome from earning incentives?
I always think of my wonderful, wonderful representative. Her name was Lori.
Hmm.
Um, she was the sweetest, kindest lady. And she worked helping in the troubled youth area. But she was extremely shy.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, she was so shy. And she came up to me one day. I said, I really would like to join Avon. But I'm just so scared. And she knew me from before. So I said, why are you so scared? She said, I don't know. I'm just nervous to talk to people. I said, well, Lori, you and me are going to be bonded at the hip for the next month. And let me tell you, you're not going to ever worry about that again. My goodness, Jenny, I had her out to the doors and meeting people. She was so nervous the first time. So I went up a couple times on my own, but she kind of saw me doing it. And she was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So she finally went to her first door, and I was standing right beside her. I never left her side.
Right.
And before you knew it, she was talking and I was backing up. She didn't even know that I had kind of just left her there. And all of a sudden, She was gaining so much confidence, Jenny. I lie not. She was at the doors talking to people. She signed up team members. She became a unit leader. She moved up so quickly. But now watch. This was the biggest thing. Remember, I told you she worked for troubled youth.
Yeah.
She was looking to go to the next level. She wanted a promotion because that meant she could get off night shift and work on day shift and be there with her son at night when he was home from school. Let me tell you, she got so much confidence. She went, asked for the promotion. She became a manager in that field. Oh my goodness, within 1 year of being with me, I will never forget her. She, in fact, did end up leaving Avon, to my heart. I wasn't happy about, but I understood it. She had a new career, and I was so happy to be able to help her do that. So let me tell you, confidence, you got it, Jenny. It's number one. That is a huge, huge confidence builder.
Oh, I love that so much. And I
Yeah.
think that's to kind of pull in the badass crew here, especially those who are either looking to get into leadership or who are new to leadership in their company, pointing out what Teresa did there, which is the done with you. And then like that's literally the stuff that I used to do with my team, which was have them come watch me. So she watched you
Yeah,
go up to the door, right? And
she
then the
did.
two of you did it together. And then she did it while you observed, right? Like that process of taking people through that to show them and help them build the understanding, the mastery, the confidence in order to do that. And I think that's huge that being able to say that you've helped people through the network marketing model improve their lives even in their career, like their corporate career, right?
That
I
was the
think that's
best.
huge.
Jenny, that was the best. I never felt so heartfelt. That was just, and she did earn those incentives we talked about, Jenny.
Uh-huh.
And she earned cash incentives going to the next level. To me, the hugest part was she wanted that promotion. She talked about, I said, I completely understand that. She went for it. She had the confidence that she did not have before. So, when you think about confidence building, or let's say any kind of business, any kind of earned trips or whatever we're talking about, you are alone. You are doing it by yourself. But if you have a team leader who's willing to put in some time and effort with you, I think that makes all the difference in the world. And that's what I'm doing with Isogenics too. I mean,
Hmm.
and I've always felt, and really, so let's go back to the multi-level marketing side. Let's look at just the whole system
Right.
altogether. Multi-level marketing is a business. You are in business for yourself. So although you don't have overhead, which is great, you don't have extra expenses, you are alone. So you need to draw that strength. And if you have an upline or a team leader who's able to help you, I think that's so important. I also believe in going and taking courses and motivational, perhaps self-help books. I believe in that tremendously because if you're in any kind of business, really, it doesn't have to even be multi-level. Any kind of business, you're on your own. So you need to find that network wherever you can to stay motivated and stay sharp and confident to keep going.
Yeah. So since you brought it up, now I want to know because you talked about self-development books, right?
Sure.
If you can only recommend one book that you believe will make the biggest difference for people, what one book would you recommend?
I can answer that immediately. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon
Oh,
Hill. And absolutely 100%. And I'll tell you why. I was in real estate. We talked about that. The market had turned, let
hmm.
me tell you, really hard. And I had
Yeah.
to really pull it together. It was Christmas time. I had a young family and my husband was working, but we
Yeah.
needed to get it together a little more. And my friend across the street, never forget it. She and her husband invited us for dinner and I was stressed so much. And he went to the back to, I don't know where he got it from, perhaps his home office, brought Think and Grow Rich out. Jenny, I lie not, I spent the entire night reading that book from cover to cover, which is not a big book, but I took the
Right.
whole night.
Uh-huh.
And the next day, I sold 11 houses in the next month. And let me tell you, I never looked back. That book
Wow.
absolutely changed my world. So I would,
Ooh,
if you asked which book, that's the one I would
that's
read.
the one. Okay. So I've not read it yet.
Oh, you must. You must. It's the best. In fact, that's the number one book I would read. And, there's so many out there I've read, but honestly, that's the number one I would
Number
read.
one. Nice. I love it. My personal favorite, and I know he refers a lot to Think and Grow Rich in this book, and my badass crew, if they've listened to most, if not all of my episodes, they probably know what's about to come out of my mouth. But my personal favorite is The Success Principles by Jack Canfield.
Oh, okay. I certainly have read that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
certainly have. It's amazing.
And
I
I,
actually thought you were going to say another author, to tell you the truth, who follows Think and Grow
oh,
Rich. I
oh
thought you
yeah.
were going to say Bob Proctor, because he
I
also follows that one.
I have not read any of Bob Proctor's things
Oh,
yet. I've read Bob Berg, I've read
yes.
Brian Tracy.
Boy, they're getting all the plugs today, aren't
Oh my
they?
gosh, seriously. Yeah. But I really believe that this industry and just business in general, entrepreneurship in general,
Yeah,
it is a personal growth
it is.
business. And the more you grow, the more you learn about yourself and implement. I think that's really the key because you can't just like sit there and read it and go, okay, now I'm magically going to make more money. N- no,
Oh, you can't, Jenny?
no. You have to take what you learn and put it into play, right?
You do.
Implement the information.
You do.
And that's when the growth happens. And the growth shows up in so many different ways. But the easiest way to measure is with money.
Well, and I will say too, Jenny, the world has changed. Now, I talked a long time ago about door knocking. That's just not the way people do it anymore.
Right.
And I will say it's imperative that you keep up with the trends. I've learned
Yeah.
about online marketing, online ways of talking to people. People
Hmm.
are now doing a lot on the internet with AI.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses are run through that. A lot of marketing is done. And I may add, and sorry to jump there, but
No,
I would
that's okay.
also add that there's even a difference between marketing and selling. So you're right. You
Yes.
can't just think and grow rich. You have to add action. You can't just market and make money. You have to go and talk to people. So how
Hmm.
you're talking to people is what I mean. We may not be
Right.
doing it the old way of door knocking, prospecting, although I still do.
Uh-huh.
And I even do with isogenics. However, you do not have to, because there is all new ways. And I
Yeah.
think it's imperative that, although you read motivational books, you should also read books on entrepreneurship, internet marketing, things like that, so that you're not behind the trends. I think it's
Yeah.
imperative that, because we're going in the AI direction, that we need to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I feel like I could talk to you forever about this, Teresa, but we don't have forever. So we'll have to have you back. Oh,
Thank you,
darn.
Jenny.
And have
I
that
would love that.
and we'll dig even deeper into the motivational, inspirational learning piece for the next one. How about that?
Thank you, Jenny. I
Oh,
would love that. I enjoy talking to you, and anytime I'd love to come back and talk to you.
oh, fantastic. Good. So now for the badass crew, in case you guys had your own aha moment from this and you really enjoyed what you heard from Teresa, please reach out to Teresa. Teresa, how would you like the audience to reach out to you if they want to either thank you or ask you a question about your businesses or something? How can they get a hold of you?
Easily, Jenny, just through my email. I think you have that there
Yep.
in the podcast, and absolutely email me. I love to hear your stories. I'd love to talk to you. Any way I can help, I'm here waiting to talk to you.
Fantastic. And so, of course, my badass crew knows that your email is already down in the show notes. But
Thank
just
you.
in case this is somebody's first time listening to the show and you're sitting here thinking, show notes, how do I find the show notes? Here's what you're going to do. As long as you're not driving, grab your phone, click on today's episode, scroll under Teresa's picture, and you will see we have a full episode notes or show notes, depending on the app that you're on, that will let you know more about Teresa, including her bio and more information. And her email will be right there so that all you have to do is click it and it should open up your favorite default email system to send an email to Teresa. And if, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, if you experienced a mindset shift, a growth in some way, shape, or form, and it came from Teresa, please reach out and show gratitude, because then the universe will continue to reward you with more bonus golden wisdom nuggets from Teresa and from the podcast. Because when you show gratitude, the universe rewards you with more abundance. So please reach out, say hello to Teresa, thank her for the brilliance that she shared and helped to grow your life. Or if you have a question, ask her. So Teresa, again, thank you for being here. I so appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Jenny. I so enjoyed it today, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have you back. And Badass Crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned, because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast, so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.